race and faith hate crime. We know it's something that affects many in our churches and also many in the wider community. And this was a chance to get together, to reflect, to learn about the topic, to think about how it connects with the Bible, how it connects with theology, and in particular to think about how we can move forward and take some actions as individuals and as church communities to try to combat faith hate crime and race hate crime.
It is on the increase. It is something that we notice on the streets. It has become part of our narrative today in the context in which we are living. Certain people are branded negatively in the press and in the media, which is a reality. So we start from where we are. It is a reality that we find in our living context.
I see it as a intense discrimination against people of all different social classes, but also of race, whether that's violence or speech or a way of thinking. It's not just necessarily what we are doing outwardly, but also how we think inwardly.
Well, faith and race crime is a methodology of separating people according to their belief system, and then developing, an intense dislike for someone because of their difference in faith. That's what I understand it to be.
It's straightforward that God is a God of love. God loves all of us. God created all of us. We should love each other as a church. There's no room for racism. There's no room for hatred within Christianity. We are an inclusive people, and we're called to be inclusive. We're called to draw people to God, because God is a God of love, the creator of all.
For me, as a Christian, it has no place within the context of society, because my faith says to me that I must love all people, regardless of their race, their nationality, their background, their physical disability. It doesn't matter what they are, where they're from, and what they do. My faith informs me to love them and to treat them as a human being.
And that's for us a very important thing, that we brought many churches together from a more traditional perspective to the more Pentecostal, if you want, perspective. And we came together, and I think we survived the day in terms of recognize that we got to stamp out discrimination, stamp out hate crime, and that Christianity can have a narrative that is reading from the Bible, that is inclusive, that's a love for all. And so I think that came very strongly on the day today. I take that home, but I take that as an encouragement as well to see how we in our area here and with all the churches, we can really develop this perspective that is more inclusive. Whatever faith or race or gender, that will, or social strata, that will be able to relate to people in love and convince them to, and us, to make a difference in this society where we live, where the ideology, general ideology, is going the other direction.
4 areas of potential action for us to take as Christians and as churches. The first one is around reporting hate crime. We learned about what hate crime is and how we can report it to the police, to local authorities, to other agencies. The second one was around not standing by, thinking about how we can be in solidarity with those people who are the targets of hate crime, how we can get engaged with different organisations in our communities, how we can stand by with people who actually feel that some way hate crime is a problem in their lives. The third thing was about campaigning. Can we join with organised campaigns? It happens to be Hate Crime Awareness Week. There's a lot of campaigning going on about hate crime at the moment. Can we engage with organisations like Stand Up to Racism? We heard about an initiative to try to get a Windrush Day organised and celebrated here in the UK. Heard about lots of potential campaigns that we could be involved in as churches and as Christians. And the fourth area was around changing the narrative. You know, it often feels in our society today that there are people who wanted to normalise hatred, normalise crimes against people because of the colour of their skin, because of their religion, and that is completely wrong. So what we need to do is we need to challenge that with the message of love that is core to our faith, and to say, you know, love always defeats hate. There's a beautiful quote today from Nelson Mandela, and it was about people learn to hate so also they can learn to love. And it's easier for them to learn to love because human beings are inclined to love rather than hate. I thought it was a beautiful message. I think that really chimes with our Christian faith. And I hope today that as we go from this seminar, we will be inspired to act in our communities to try to tackle hate crime as London churches.